Good afternoon and welcome. This is the beginning of our Distinguished Service Award ceremony, and I turn this over to Justice Slough.
Thank you very much, Chief. I'm really honored to participate by way of introducing the recipients today. We have a great group of just real people here today who are being recognized. We are awarding 2 Distinguished Service Awards and as well as the Aranda Access to Justice Awards. The Distinguished Service Award has been in existence since 1993. Judge Rubin, were you born then?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. And it is to honor people who have demonstrated extraordinary leadership and who've made significant contributions to the administration of justice. And our 2 recipients today definitely fall into that category. The Aranda Access to Justice Award is co-sponsored by the California Judges Association, the California Lawyers Association, as well as the Judicial Council of California. It is awarded to a judicial officer who has demonstrated a long-term commitment to improving access to our courts and also who has significantly improved access for low and moderate income Californians. And again, our recipient today falls well within that category. We have a number of people who've traveled some distance in addition to our award winners today to participate. I believe we also have former council member Judge Kevin Brazil, who's the presiding judge of Los Angeles. I believe he was going to be here. I haven't seen him today, but he might be here. We also have Judge Richard Blake, who is the chief judge of the Hoopa Valley Tribe. We have Judge Ana de Alba of the Superior Court, County of Fresno. In addition, we have retired Judge Tam Nomoto Schumann, who is the president of the California Judges Association and a new member of Judicial Council. We have Ms. Nicole Verga Batista, who is the executive director and CEO of the California Judges Association. Mr. Emilio Veronini, president of the California Lawyers Association, as well as representatives from that association. So welcome to our presentation and to a moment of acknowledging the great work that has been accomplished by these honorees. First off, we will address the Distinguished Service Awards. The first honoree today is Justice Dennis M. Perluss. Justice Perluss is a native Californian, born in Sacramento. He graduated from Stanford and also went to Harvard Law. He served for 2 years on the Los Angeles Superior Court and then was elevated to the 2nd Appellate District in 2001. And since 2003, he has served as his division's presiding justice. He is indeed a contributor to our body of law, but equally a contributor to approaching law and people from a position of compassion. Without spoiling the story, there's a brief video regarding Justice Perluss, so why don't we watch that to highlight some of his extraordinary work.
I met Dennis when he was part of the team interviewing at my law school, and we are still working together now 42 years later. I believe that Dennis's legacy to the branch will be not only his service as a judge and a justice, the body of opinions that he leaves behind for others to follow, but also the creative work he's done in rules and processes that make the work of the branch more effective and serve the public. When Dennis practiced law, he saw the need to contribute to the community and not just to his clients. He was active in the Bar Association and active in pro bono cases, which directly served those who could not otherwise obtain representation or whose issues were not being represented. So even before he came to the bench, he was a warrior for justice.
He has really shown me personally his interest in people who are underrepresented, who aren't seen, who are basically invisible, and to him they're not invisible. We were seeing our restraining orders not being honored by local law enforcement, and he helped us interface so that our victims could be assured of being protected. He is a person who really knows the law, likes the law, understands what its responsibilities are, and was committed to making sure we had access to the law. And he helped us get that access. And I have a lot of respect for him, and I always will.
Remarkable for sure. On a personal note, shortly after I received notice that I was going to be recommended to the Court of Appeal, I had a conversation. Justice Perluss reached out to me. I will always remember and value our conversation. Thank you very much. We have a special guest with us today for the presentation of the Distinguished Service Award to Justice Perluss. It's my honor to introduce Judge Richard Blake. He is the Chief Judge of the Redding Rancheria Tribal Courts and a member of the Hoopa Valley Tribe. He is President of the Board of the National American Indian Court Judges Association, a current member of the California Tribal Court State Forum, which he formerly co-chaired with Justice Perluss. Welcome, Judge Blake.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Justice and the Council. It is truly an honor to be here today to honor Justice Dennis Perluss, my former co-chair of the Tribal State Forum. From day one, Justice Perluss set forth to learn about tribes, to learn about tribal cultures, and to learn how he could enhance the collaboration between the state and tribe. Our justice systems, what he did not know about them, he asked. He researched, and more importantly, he participated. He participated by coming, by asking, and again, by doing, actively doing. Visits to various tribal communities helped Justice Perluss live time in tribal justice systems. The visits to my court in Hoopa, I have to say, Justice Perluss is from Los Angeles, and when we don't have any stores in my community, I think it was probably pretty much of a culture shock for him to come to my community. I was hopeful that our third musketeer, Jenny Walter, could be here today to help us honor Justice Perluss. Unfortunately, she had another engagement, but she definitely sends her best wishes, Justice Perluss, and likewise with any other forum member who is no longer sitting on the forum. Chief Justice, I wanted to personally thank you for your continued support of a vision that was certainly has earned and garnered respect nationwide, the Tribal State Forum, and in the tribal communities that it serves. And of course, thank you for sharing Justice Perluss to the tribal communities in the state of California. I also would be remiss if I didn't thank his beautiful wife and family who are here today to watch him get this award, for allowing him to share time with us in our communities and in our forum. I most wanted to thank Justice Perluss myself as my former co-chair, my friend. Justice Perluss is deserving of this award, and certainly is, if one were available in our tribal communities, Justice Perluss, you would be receiving that as well. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I am, of course, very pleased and grateful to the Chief Justice and the Judicial Council for this award. I want to, again, introduce my wife, who is over there, and my daughter, Natanya, who are here. Very early in my judicial career, I had a conversation with Justice Walter Krosky, who was somebody who certainly gave to the branch. But Justice Krosky said to me, "Dennis, just remember that family is the most important thing of all," and it always has been. To be candid, ever since I got off the phone with the Chief Justice and she told me that I had been selected for the award, I have been feeling a little bit guilty. Guilty not because I'm not extremely proud of the work that has been done by the various advisory committees that I've served on. A lot was accomplished, especially with the Tribal Court State Court Forum. The enforcement of tribal court domestic violence restraining orders was a very significant development. The cross-cultural exchanges that took place between local superior courts and tribal courts in their communities fostered dialogue that is essential to progress in all of our communities. But those accomplishments, quite frankly, in my view, have a lot more to do with the members of the committee, and in particular with the JCC staff that worked with us in each of those, in each of my endeavors. And I would in particular like to publicly acknowledge Ann Ronan from Civil and Small Claims, who is here, Michael Gidden, Heather Anderson, and Sung Lee, who worked on the Prop 66 Rules Committee, who are all here, Jenny Walter, who unfortunately couldn't be here, but Ann Gilmore and Vita Castaneda from the Tribal Court State Court Forum. As I said, without them, the work of those groups just wouldn't have been done. But the second reason that I feel just a little bit guilty about the award is that notwithstanding all that we were able to do, I know that I receive far more in return by my involvement in these groups. I worked to improve access. I facilitated communication. I learned about tribal courts and alternative ways of resolving disputes. And most importantly, I had the opportunity to make friends with the wonderful judges and lawyers from across the state who volunteer to give their time to these activities. So, as I said, I do feel a little guilty, but I'm going to keep the award. Thank you all very much.
Justice Perluss, thank you on behalf of Judicial Council for your dedication, your service, your exemplary work, and most of all for your friendship to so many of us. Thank you, sir.